welcome to Convicted Christian Community.
I forgot that we were recording a podcast.
Yeah, we were recording. Kay's just over here playing with his little fidget spinner.
Oh, you got me into this. So, yeah, we're just going to jump right into it. Today, I found a really funny article, right?
You did?
I did. It was like a post more than an article,
Okay.
right? And it's a post where a teacher, right, asked a class of grade 3 kids to write letters to God, which was the most adorable thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, okay.
And it's great. So today might not be as serious as some of the other episodes that we've done, but you know what? It's a corner where we just sort of stop on that.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of a
giggle.
laugh. That's right.
I don't think we've really done a serious podcast yet, really.
This kind of podcast. No, we haven't done one of these before. But you know what? Here is letter number 1. This is a person called Norma. Wonder if that's so gender neutral nowadays. Like
Norma.
Yeah, Norma. Is that a girl or a boy?
Girl.
Norma.
Girl.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Norma. We don't know where she's from. She says, "Dear God, did you mean for a giraffe to look like that, or was it an accident?" I thought it was so cute. Like this post, right? This post has some 2.2 thousand reactions, 791 comments. That's big. Obviously, it's on Subtle Christian Traits,
Oh, yeah.
which we all love. Is it holy to follow Subtle Christian Traits? But I'm telling you,
wrong with
like
it, really.
yeah, I guess so. But I find some of those things so relatable. Like a lot of their things so
Yeah, that's
so
why they're funny. That's why people follow him.
Exactly right.
Shout out to Subtle Christian Traits.
Subtle Christian Traits. They also have Subtle Asian Traits, which
Yeah,
I follow.
Yeah.
Do you follow that? Do they have like subtle brown traits or
I
something?
think they do, yeah.
They do.
It's kind of blown up now. All that subtle
Subtle.
something.
Yeah. It's funny because it's not the subtlest thing on my feed anymore. It's kind of the loudest thing on my feed because everyone's reacting on it. Love it. The irony. It's called postmodernism, everyone. Take notes. Second letter. Let's go. I think that's Charlene. Charlene says, "How did you know you were God?" Some of these questions are deep.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Very valid question.
Yeah.
How did you learn how to exist?
Hey, God.
Yeah. What's up? What's up with you, like being around and stuff? How did you know you were God? I mean, we could ask that about anything, any kind of identity about people, right? I could say, how'd you know you were you, a man, or whatever?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or anything you are. How'd you know you were a dad? How did you know you were a... This is too complex. I mean, I thought we were just gonna have a bit of a lull kind of podcast, but I guess not. We're now dealing with some pretty metaphysical stuff right here. Raised by children.
Raised by
and if like imagine you had a daughter called Charlene. She asked you this question. How do you answer? Go.
Oh man, really?
Yeah. Go. I'm gonna put this on you now.
Charlene, good job. Do you want to go play with your toys now? No, dude, that's a really hard question. I don't think even.
Would you admit that you don't know?
Yeah, I reckon. How do you know where? What did it say? How do you know you were God?
Yeah.
So I don't really know the answer to that, right? It's kind of like how did God exist?
In the Bible, it says "I am."
Yeah.
God just says "I am."
Yeah.
Which is like I exist. I'm around. Like that's sort of what it means. So I guess it's quite inconclusive on that. Do you think
Genesis starts with like in the beginning there was God?
Yeah.
So he's already existed before
Exactly right.
time.
Yeah.
In that sense. So yeah, we never have the answer to that. I just have no idea.
Look at us.
This kid is just a genius.
I guess. I mean, did you even have that kind of wondering when you were a kid?
I don't know.
What are some crazy big wonderings you had when you were a kid?
Some crazy big wonderings.
Yeah, like big questions that you had. Like at that time, it was just something you wondered about and you just went, oh, whatever. But then now you look back and you go, I can't believe it. Like a 12-year-old or 8-year-old or 3-year-old has thought that. Not 3. But yeah, did you have any of those?
Well, I always thought like how big is space? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be like continuously going and going and going.
Yeah.
But what is like beyond what we know?
Yeah.
Could there be...
Oh, you mean aliens?
Ooh. I don't know whether I believe aliens exist.
Yeah. Okay. Topic within a topic. Do aliens exist?
No.
They do not.
No.
No, they do not.
I don't know, actually. Man. It's hard to really know, right?
Yeah. My answer is I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that wants to believe this, right? Let's say out of all the infinite number of stars out there that we haven't even discovered, right? Yes, there is a very high likelihood of another existence being out there, and something of a circumstance where a planet will be, an appropriate amount of distance away from the central star, which is like a light source, supernova, that it would have sunlight and enough temperature for another organic matter to live, right? And that's entirely possible. But there's a part of me that also appreciates, of all the discoveries that we have made so far, that nothing else we have seen has any other being in it. And that was designed so that we can head out of our house at nighttime, look up in the stars, and there are stars. And it's beautiful. And it was all designed for us. Like, I feel the love in that. I feel the design and preparation in that.
What do you think about what they're figuring out with stuff on Mars and stuff like that? You know, having access to water.
In Mars? I mean...
Finding, what was it, old fossils on Mars?
Yeah, but that's such a close neighbor.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like...
Have they found fossils in Mars?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, mind-blowing.
That's the thing, is like Mars is so close to what we can explore.
Yeah.
And we're still like years away from really exploring Mars.
Yeah.
You know, what could possibly be beyond that?
Yeah.
So for me, I don't lean to the side that there would be more of an existence outside of our own. I'll be leaning more towards that there isn't. But you know what's an interesting thing is, hypothetically, if there was the existence of aliens, what would that mean to Christianity?
Whoa.
Yeah, imagine if a little kid asked you that. What would you say?
Yeah, a little kid is asking me that right now. And I'd say, why don't we just get back to our podcast? Just wanted to just quick shout out to everybody listening to the podcast. We are not a scientific podcast. We're a religious podcast. We're a lifestyle podcast.
That's an interesting question, though.
It is an interesting question.
What do you reckon?
Well, I think they would need their own version of Jesus, right?
Do you reckon that would affirm God? That the whole idea of God and his, essentially chosen people, humanity, do you reckon that could affirm?
Okay.
Actually, God has his chosen people.
All right. Okay. Now we're getting tangential, but only now we're getting tangential. But look, listen. Okay, I'm a huge fan of Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen Rick and Morty?
I've seen a bit of it. Yeah.
A bit of it, right? Yeah. So there's an alternate universe within Rick and Morty, right? And so there's a Rick and Morty in every parallel universe there is out there. Yeah. So I'm sensing that maybe we need another Jesus for those beings, right? Now we also need to discuss the simple nature of me watching Rick and Morty as well, because that's like next level. But and maybe we should discuss some of that as well, like how do Christians consume media and things like that. But overall, I'm sensing that if aliens were to exist, then Jesus would have to die for them as well. Another alien Jesus would have to die for them as well.
No, I don't think that's how it works.
You don't think how it works?
I don't think so.
Could he have referred to multiple universes or multiple Earths being more than one when he said he created the heavens and the earth?
He could, but I reckon he is being very specific about
Earth
and humans.
Here, right now.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I say. Like, only according to humans we define existence as an organic being that breathes oxygen and, eats food and needs sunlight and photosynthesis and all that kind of stuff, right? Aerobic and anaerobic resuscitation is what we need. But that's
not a science podcast.
Yeah, not a science podcast at all, guys. That's what we think, though. Who says they can't exist in other... And, like, existence and intelligence requires motion. Like, things need to move around.
Yeah.
But, like, if God create... I don't know.
I reckon even if there was...
Yeah.
It doesn't take away from the validity of God and Jesus being one.
Yeah.
And that him dying for us. Because it's probably, again, a bit of a tangent, but, there is an aspect of God's chosen people within humanity.
Exactly right.
So,
I mean, anyone puts faith in him. Cool. I'm gonna read the next question.
Let's get to the next one.
I'm gonna read the next question now. All right, cool. Hamish and Andy have the system where things just get too much. They just ring the bell and they just move on to the next topic. Yeah,
we probably need a
we probably need a bell of that nature.
Something.
That's right. So
Marnie?
This comes from Marnie. Hey Marnie.
That's a cool name.
That's a cool name. Marnie says. Marnie writes to God, "Dear God, on Halloween, I'm going to wear a devil's costume. Is that all right with you?" Wow.
Marnie, believe it or not, there's a lot of adults who probably wear devil's costume every night.
This is a family-friendly podcast. Well, I thought it was anyway. Yeah. So, okay. Well, that's an interesting question. Halloween. Thoughts on that and the celebration around it?
I don't know. It's hard for. I feel like it's hard for us in Australia to have an opinion on that, man.
What are you talking about? There's heaps.
It's only starting to get bigger, like in the last
few
5
years.
years.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, it was like only one family around the block would go out trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's like starting to get bigger because businesses realize it's an absolute cash gold mine. Do you know what I mean? That's why Cadbury and all that are trying to sell a heck out of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard for me to have an opinion on it, really. Well, I really don't think it affects Australian culture. Like, it's a day that just comes and goes. And people are like, oh, cool, Halloween. Maybe you might have a dress-up party. That's about all we do.
Yeah, right.
And not even many people do that.
Okay, so I've run into some Christian friends who would not participate in this holiday.
Yeah, okay.
So let's we had a Halloween party and we were Christians. Ooh, right. Once upon a time. Whoa. And we dressed up. We dressed up in this way though. We said, yo, let's get dressed up on the things that were created on our birth year. So there's me. Okay. Right? There's me. And I'm like, oh, what year was I born? And then I said, okay, this was when I was born. And I dressed up as Lion King, like a full lion costume, right? Because Lion King was, created when I was born.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so that was
young.
That was the year. I'm very young. And everybody else, was doing the same thing. Now, this particular party, we also invited like non-Christian friends as well.
Is this, you say you had this party? You threw it?
I didn't throw it.
Oh,
my Christian friend threw it, and then we all went to that Christian friend's place.
Yep.
We had a ball. It was great. Now, no one got blind drunk.
Yep.
No one got naked. No one got lit up. You feel me? But there were some questionable costume choices that we've seen from the non-Christian part of the group.
Yeah.
All right.
Such as,
men dressing in very, very tiny black dresses.
Yeah.
Something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And that's probably the worst one. Everything else was just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that crazy. Like, to be honest, it wasn't even that crazy. It was just kind of funny. It was just funny. Now, I don't know. That being said, I think it was a good time to celebrate. We just got together. We just had a bit of a chat.
I feel like that's what most of it would be. Right?
But guess what? There were some friends that we had in our Christian group that wasn't comfortable with going to a Halloween party or a party labeled Halloween.
And that's okay. That's a prerogative, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
But what I think would be a stitch for Christians is if they know Halloween.
Yeah.
But then they don't really know, like, the day before that, Reformation Day.
Yeah.
Which is where Halloween sort of came about.
Yeah.
Was like, because they wanted to do it as a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
I think the day before.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Reformation Day, like, if Christians don't really know that.
Yeah.
That, I think, is like, come on, you're keen to go and get lit or, like, go and chase around getting candy.
Yeah.
But actually, Reformation Day is really important. It's a good day to know for Christians.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Going back to Marnie's question, right? Because Marnie's important to us. That's why we're reading her letter.
Marnie is a boss man. I love that name.
Yeah.
I don't even know who this kid is, but that's such a cool name.
It is a very cool name. Marnie says she's going to wear a devil's costume, though.
How do you know it's a she?
He. She. Z. Are we going gold there? This is a Christian podcast.
I reckon it's a he.
Marnie. Marnie.
I guess in my mind I was thinking a he.
Anyway. A devil's costume. Would Christians wear a devil's costume?
I don't know.
Would Christians wear a Jehovah's Witness costume? Would Christians wear a
That'd be spicy.
a Mormon Christian costume?
That'd be very spicy. I don't know.
Would a Christian dress up as a Buddhist? I don't know.
Question, I guess.
Why would you anyway?
Better question for us is like, what if your kid said he wanted to dress up, or she wanted to dress up in the devil's costume?
All right, let's put it this way. Let's say Jesus is having a party with the 12 apostles, right? One of them comes dressed up as a Roman soldier. A bit like that. Well, I mean, what are you trying to get out of it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think for money...
I'd probably have a chat with the kid, I guess, and just be like...
Like, why are you doing this, kid?
Why do you? And he's like, oh, because it's cool. And you'd
It's
be like,
cool.
oh, this and this and this, and Let them
Candies.
make a rational choice.
Yeah, exactly.
But explain a reason to them.
I guess. I mean, if you wanted to do, let's say you have a dad that you love very much, right? Let's say you do that, and you are. Okay.
Let's do that.
Let's live in that fantasy for a while, right?
Oh,
Jeez, that got dark real quick.
So dark.
No, praise God, we both have really nice dads.
Yeah.
Don't we? It's great. In separate families. I cannot believe we live in a society where I have to really caveat that information. Anyway, and your dad, let's say, is a devout supporter of, let's say, the team Chelsea in EPL, right? And like he loves it, and you want to support him and stuff, right? Yeah, I'm just picking up a team. Manchester City, Liverpool. All right, we'll change to Liverpool.
Up the Reds.
Yeah, he's gone for Liverpool. He loves it, right? And you love your dad as well.
Yeah.
Right. And Liverpool is playing Chelsea tonight, and just because you think Chelsea has a cooler shirt, you just put that on, and then you watch the game with him, and he's sitting there being all uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Question is Jesus uncomfortable with you wearing the devil?
Yeah.
But like, why? I think he'll be uncomfortable with the reason why he do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, I think we should ring the bell. Next question. Dear God. Oh, this question comes from Lucy.
I reckon, hey, don't say the name. I reckon I'm going to try to figure out. Next one, don't say the name. I'll try to figure out what the name is from the question.
All right, sure.
See how good my
Okay, this one's not from Lucy.
This is not from Lucy.
This is not from Lucy, but if you wanted to guess Lucy...
It'd be a good guess.
You'd be a pretty good guess. Dear God, are you really invisible or is that just a trick?
Jesus just wearing an invisibility cloak.
Hey, I sense a bit of...
Surprise.
Look, who do you think wrote that, by the way?
It was an adult. That was an adult.
You reckon?
Yeah, Lucy's an adult.
You reckon? I did think that when I saw a couple of these, to be honest. But... we're just trying to, spark some conversation. Are you really invisible or is that just a trick? Yeah, why did God have to be so invisible? Is this passive aggression?
No, I reckon that kid's...
That adult is...
I reckon that person's just being real. Because how many people do you know are like, I want to see before I believe? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that kid's probably being pretty honest. Like,
I find it so interesting though. To that argument, I think God will say, guys, I have shown you. Look at the Bible, look at this and that, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But in some ways, right, I feel like God misses the point. In some ways, it's like, God, you're dealing with people with very short lifespans and attention spans. Like, look at TikTok, for example. People barely have 10 seconds of attention span there, right? And so you got to do something short and snappy so that you can actually, grab their attention and things like that. I mean, then really it becomes about them, doesn't it? Really? Because I'm trying to say something. I'm about to say something where I say, well, Jesus, you should have been more visible in our lives, more tangible in our lives so that we can actually feel you, see you. Unlike Lucy, who is between the age of maybe 8 and 35.
I was going to say 35. Between the ages of 34 and 35.
Yeah. And who happens to have a very, very childish handwriting. But seriously, like I wonder, I don't know, I sometimes, and this is a pretty extreme word, I sometimes wish Jesus was a bit more tangible in my life. But the Christian theology and faith will tell me that I lack it so that I don't actually see Jesus in my life. And people would argue that no, Jesus is tangible in our lives. And I would even argue that at various points in my life. Praise God for those moments. Yeah.
I mean, that is an ongoing conversation, is like essentially the effectiveness of Jesus' ministry.
Yeah.
But, the thing I think I find helpful in those moments is like everyone always doubts and stuff like that. And I have so many like non-Christians or people who are like experiencing God.
Yeah.
But are like, I just need a sign from him. Yeah. And you're like, bruh, he showed you a sign 2,000 years ago. It's like, oh no, I want to see him. But that is what faith is, right? Yeah. Is believing in things unseen. Yeah. Greater are those who believe in things unseen.
I was going to say, yeah.
But you think about everything in terms of that happens in history. So let's take the moon landing, right? 1969 moon landing. There's people who debate whether that even actually happened.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Like that was within a generation ago from us.
Yeah.
Was on TV.
Yeah.
Was actually visualized. People were denying. Everyone's got conspiracies. Oh,
Yeah.
like the flag was moving and like this happened, that happened. You can see like set stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
They can't even believe that. It happened, less than a generation ago.
Yeah.
So obviously people are going to doubt things that happened 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But you look at like the evidence behind the things that happened.
Mm-hmm.
You look at like what God's plan was in the Old Testament. You know, and this is, we need a podcast really to talk about this. Like God's plan. Was it good or not?
God's plan.
God's plan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, well, we could really spend a whole conversation on this, but the reality is that God is tangible in our lives through Christ.
Yeah.
And that came 2,000 years ago. That was never going to come in a physical presence for us until he comes back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the reality is, like, we still believe things from years, hundreds of years ago we didn't even see. Right? When was the last time you questioned like Australian history, the Roman civilization history, Alexander, and if he actually did all the things that he said he was going to do?
Yeah.
Persian Empire.
Yeah.
World War One.
Yeah.
World War Two.
Yeah.
Do you imagine if you told people like World War Two that didn't happen? People would actually slap you in the face. Right?
Yeah.
They'd just be like, "You are mental."
Yeah.
But you know, you believe that, but you weren't even alive when it happened. But how do you know about it? From stories?
Yeah.
From people who tell you things?
Yeah. School.
And luckily for us, that maybe World War Two we actually had more visualization, but World War One,
Yeah.
you know, we had less photos and videos, but we do still have some of that.
Yeah.
That we believe that it happened.
Yeah.
How stupid could you be if you were like, that didn't happen? So the same thing with Jesus. People who maybe are questioning the tangibility of Jesus, like look back at the historical accuracy of it,
Yeah.
like outside of the Bible.
Yeah.
Look at all the transcripts and what people talk about around the time.
Yeah.
I think that kind of helps because the reality is everyone always goes through points of doubting, man, for sure.
Are you really across all that? Did you spend a time in your faith where you're just like, yeah, I'm going to look into like the historical validity?
A little bit. I don't probably do heaps.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
But I've had other people who have like affirmed that for me.
Yeah.
So they've done the research for me.
Yeah. And I think people can criticize us a lot for doing that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. But you know what? I don't care.
Yeah. For me, it's like I believe so much so. There's only certain times that I don't believe. And in those times, I come back to the things that I know. And I feel like there's enough historical accuracy to Jesus, even outside of the Bible, that is like, if you don't believe that, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, in Christian faith altogether, I think there is enough like real life validity, experiential validity as well in that regard. If you give yourself the opportunity to actually experience Jesus and do life with him, which I think is very, very important to do. And yeah,
We're probably going
if we need
the
to,
bell.
yeah, exactly, ring the bell and just go to the next one. But in saying that, I mean, really, if Jesus popped up on Instagram and like hashtag me,
What up?
hashtag me, hashtag
back.
Jesus, hashtag I'm
Do you know
back.
the Michael Jordan? You know when he like had that fax when he came back from, but I'm talking to a guy that doesn't follow sports stuff. Just
Ring,
goes,
ding,
"I'm back."
ding, ding, ding. Next, okay.
Yeah, but I think what you were trying to say with that is like,
Yeah.
even if Jesus did come back on TikTok or whatnot, there would still be people who'd be like, oh,
Nah.
is that Jesus though? Is it? I don't know.
You know Drake doesn't exist.
Yo, dude.
Yo. And Donald Trump is a robot.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. You better believe it.
You're an idiot.
You heard it here first. Convicted Christian podcast. You've heard
Drake
it here first.
100% exists.
Drake doesn't exist.
Just like Jesus.
Do you know J.
But
Cole
Drake isn't as good as Jesus.
is artificial intelligence?
Wait, come
Oh,
on.
hey,
You
cross-
watch yourself.
crossing the line right there.
That is really cross the line.
Right, this
Don't read
person.
the name, don't read the
I'm
name.
not reading the name.
Okay, good.
This person says, "Dear God, who draws the lines around the country?"
Wow.
Oh,
Yo. I'm going to say that is a Bianca.
oh, correct. Very close. It's Nan. Nan.
Nan.
Yeah.
Grandma.
Yeah, it's Nan.
Nan.
I think this person. Oh, this person could be Asian, like a Nan.
Could be, yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, it does matter.
Yeah, go to the next one.
All right, go to the next one. Here we go. All right, so this person asked, "Dear God, I went to this wedding and they kissed right in church. Is that okay?" Oh,
Is this a kid?
it is not okay. It is not okay to kiss in church, everybody. You heard it here first.
By the way, at a wedding.
I guess.
Aw.
Wait, do you seriously think it's not good to kiss in church?
Do I think it's not good to kiss in church? I think it's a bit weird to kiss in church. Don't you reckon?
Why
If it
not?
wasn't a wedding? I mean, imagine on Sunday, you see someone just like,
So you're saying it's not okay? Oh, no, it's not. It's Who do you think sent this question? It's a boy.
Joseph.
Joseph. Close. It's Neil. Don't you love that? I love saying close.
Yeah.
Somebody makes a guess and I say, and it's completely wrong. And I say, yeah, it's close. And then I say something completely different.
Completely off the ball.
I love that. I do that with my friends all the time. Neil has some questions about kissing in church. Like, I've seen couples like sort of see each other and sort of greet each other with a bit of a peck.
With the holy kiss.
With a holy kiss. With a heavenly kiss. Well,
So
hey.
they're not even dating.
We should all be greeting each other with a heavenly kiss, right? Yeah. So I think it's okay to kiss in church.
Sure.
Next question. Neil, that's a stupid question. Ask a better question next time. Come on, Neil. All right, here we go. Dear God, is Reverend Joe a friend of yours or do you just know him through business?
Yo. I want to say that sounds like a business dude. I'm going to say his name's Darnie.
Correct.
Yo, is it?
Yeah, it's actually correct.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yo, let's go.
You cheated, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. But I mean, like, it kind of sounds like a Donny, right? Sounds like a bit of a Boston kid, you know?
Very much.
Business.
Very much so. And
all about the business.
Yeah, this is an impulse I can relate with, of course. Very funny question. Yeah. So this kid obviously thinks that, like...
How does he even know the word business? Smart kid.
Or an adult, again. Reverend Joe. So, like, in a sense, do you think gospel leaders have a business relationship with Jesus?
No.
More so than us?
No.
There's your answer, convicted Christian community. Next question. Thanks, Donnie, for your question. Dear God, my grandpa says you were around when he was a little boy. How far back do you go? Love. Who wrote this? The boy.
Kevin.
Close. It's Dennis.
Kevin.
Dennis, you need a better grandpa. I think your grandpa has fallen out of faith.
What was the question?
He said, my grandpa says you were around when he was a little boy. How far back do you go? So his grandpa told him, oh, yeah, God, yeah, they used to be around when I was a young boy. That's what the...
Do you reckon it's like that? I thought it was more like the grandpa's like, oh, yeah, God was around when he was a little kid.
So in your scenario, the grandpa lied. In my scenario, the grandpa stopped being a Christian.
Are you serious?
Backslid.
Okay.
Well, that's how I'm...
Right.
Get a better grandpa, Dennis. Thank you for your contribution to the show. Dear God, I'm American. What are you?
You like the way he spells American?
Yeah.
American.
American.
American. I am American.
Dear God, thank you for the baby brother, but what I prayed for was a puppy. Asks Joyce.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think Joyce will come to... I hope...
Joyce, there's probably a lot of young kids I can relate to.
Yeah, true. But I really hope that you grow up to love your baby brother more than any animal in the world.
Oh, wow. That's
how do I read that? Dear God, I know all about where babies come from, I think. From inside mummies and daddies. From inside mummies and daddies put them there. Where are they before that? Do you have them in heaven? How did they get down here? Do you have to take care of them all first? Please answer all my questions. I always think of you. Yours truly. And this question is from?
Mary.
Susan.
Oh,
Getting closer.
get in there. Around the ballpark.
Getting closer. Wow. Do you have to care of them all first? Yeah, I think it does. Care of them all first. Mm-hmm. For any kids who are listening to this podcast, this question is exactly correct. Yes. I think God does care of every child to be born. In that he sent Jesus to die for them.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you seen the movie Soul?
No.
The Disney Pixar movie?
No.
Soul?
No.
Oh man, it's good. You should watch it.
Yeah, check it out.
But basically it kind of shows this like idea that people's personalities are like formed before they're born.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, which is an interesting kind of thought.
Yeah.
Is like, obviously God knows us before we're knitted, in our mother's womb.
Yeah. And that's a Bible passage, isn't it? What did you think when you were a kid?
Like, where did I come from?
Yeah, where did babies come from? How did you know that? Did your parents explain? No, of course.
No.
Yeah, Asian family. Come on.
Exactly. Come on. We don't talk about
that stuff, mate. No way. Another podcast. Why don't Asian parents talk about sex with their kids?
That's a very,
So weird, bro.
Yeah.
I think white parents
Do
are
you know
better.
what?
But
I actually, because I grew up in this culture, I find it weird hearing when my mates tell me that their parents did talk to them about it. I'm like,
me too.
what is that? It's almost like a completely different, like, vibe.
Yeah, I
Different
know.
life.
Would you talk about sex with your kids?
Yeah.
You would. Yeah, you're Western educated.
Yeah.
Me too. What I thought was that we had to pray for it.
Pray for
So
the kid.
yeah, so well, you actually do, don't you? I asked my mum for a little brother, like a little sibling.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, mum, can we have another little brother or a little sister, another baby?" And then she goes, "Yeah, but we need to pray. God has to send us one."
Uh-huh.
And I thought it just sort of came at the front door, and like mum and dad would just go out one day and just bring one in, and you just pray for it. And it was a gift from God, and I was correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, and you got a brother?
No, but because I didn't pray for it, I was a kid. I had very little faith.
You're
Okay,
outside playing in the mud. You
yeah,
should have been praying.
exactly right. Oh, me of little faith. I didn't pray enough, but yeah. Well, short story long. My mum had me in breech, and then my sister had to be on cesarean too. So I was on cesarean. She was on cesarean as well. And so having a third baby was very risky. So that's why we didn't have extra siblings in the family, which kind of sucked. But it's okay because, like, as you know, like I have people living in my house. A lot of them here. It's kind of like brothers here, which is great.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I think maybe Susan's of an age where, although she writes like an adult, look at her handwriting. It's like a really nice cursive. But I think that understanding, obviously, when you're young, of you need to pray for a baby to be born, I think is adequate.
Yeah.
It's quite adequate. And I think that's so true. You got to keep that all in mind and continue. I am praying for so many couples right now. Not really my age, because I don't think my age people, even if they're married, are thinking about having kids, which I think is mental. I think people should get on with having a baby as soon as possible. They're not getting any younger. Yeah. Stuff that. They say, oh, we want to get to know each other and travel for a bit and stuff. I'm like, nah, you can get to know each other with a baby. That's the best travel you can get on, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's enshrined into our being, I think. Another topic for another podcast. But I think, but I'm praying for a lot of them. And I don't know, growingly, it's getting harder and harder to fall pregnant. And I find that really disappointing.
Yeah.
But it's okay. But but I've also seen a lot of couples become closer to Christ and to each other because of that moment.
Yeah, right.
And all the sex they having too. Marriage bet on fire.
Yeah, well,
Ding, ding, ding.
gotta seal the deal, right?
That's right. Dear God, why? I even asked them, does it become a bit of a chore? And they go, yeah. And I'm like, what kind of chore is that fun? Oh, me of little knowledge. Dear God, why is Sunday school on Sunday? I thought it was supposed to be a day of rest.
Oh, wow.
Drop the mic on Jesus right there. Yeah, I think he just needs to keep going and just learn a bit more about everything. Just part of growth. I think it's a cute question anyway. Dear God, how come you didn't invent any new animals lately? We still just have the old ones.
I'm sick of it. I've seen all the animals at the zoo. I want to see some new animals.
Exactly. Yeah. And
This is Johnny.
this is Johnny.
Classic Johnny.
Classic Johnny.
I don't want to see the tiger again. I've seen it 100 times.
Exactly right. We are discovering new species though, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Even in the deep sea trenches and stuff like that, which is crazy. And I'm really in awe of it. Like how much God has created the ecosystem and
Still learning.
exactly right. And like things have disappeared as well.
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculously crazy. And they all behave in different ways too, which I find really cool. This is a Christian podcast, not a scientific one. We should invite deGrasse Tyson. What's his name? Neil deGrasse. Maybe one
What's
day.
his name now? Forgotten. What did you say? DeGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, that's his name. Neil.
Isn't it Neil deGrasse Tyson?
I don't know.
I don't even know now. What do you butchered this dude's name?
How many
He's
more?
not even-
I think
know, we should really have
yeah.
We should get Joe Rogan on a podcast.
Yeah.
Controversial.
Controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're nowhere near big enough to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the more controversial part, I
Yeah,
think.
that's very true.
One day we shall pray. We shall pray for this to happen. Dear God, maybe Cain and Abel would not kill each other so much if they had their own room. It works with my brother, Larry.
Oh man,
That's a cute.
good.
That's a cute question.
That's good.
That's a cute question. Next one. Dear God, my brother is A rat.
A rat.
You should give him a tail. Says Daddy.
Dang.
Okay, so 2 questions very similar to each other. Jeez, did you not like your brother when you were a kid?
When I was younger?
Yeah.
Nah, not really. I didn't really like it when I was in my teenage years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, why? Why not?
I don't know, man. I feel like it's a classic.
How much older is
boys
your?
when
How much
2
older?
years older.
So it's pretty much the same.
He just got boring, man. Like as soon as he turned 13 and went to high school,
Yeah.
we used to play all the time. We used to play sports in the backyard, play cricket, pretty much like almost every day,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he turned 13, just no time. Just on his computer, watching YouTube and playing games and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just boring, man.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Was he studying a lot?
Nah. When he got older, like obviously towards the end of high school,
Yeah.
studying a bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon it was from like about 13 to 18
Yeah.
was where we're very different. You've met my brother as well. Have you met my brother?
I don't think so.
Yo, you haven't?
Nah.
No way.
He's never been. I don't think.
No, he's been here a few times.
He has.
I'll try to keep him away from you.
Yeah. Right. Fair enough. Don't want to pollute him with.
Yeah.
Yeah. With
We're
the wrong
kind of
vibes.
different in some ways.
Yeah.
So I think during our adolescent years,
Yeah.
like that's where we kind of butted heads in that sense. Like we were different.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, when we were younger, we got along pretty well. I think so.
Did you feel like protected
Yeah,
in a way?
in a way. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then what's the major part about your brother that you remember when you were a kid?
When I was young,
Yeah.
the biggest thing,
Yeah.
I reckon it was just having fun. I just remember, like, for me, when I think of my brother when I was younger, it was just mucking about in the backyard.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you guys wrestle and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
we used to, yeah.
I don't have a brother, right?
Oh.
I have a sister,
Yeah.
and it's so different to having a brother. Like even
Way different.
way different. And like I've got some boys that live with me now, and the way they interact with each other is just like punches, wrestles, headlocks.
Yeah.
That's all.
It just comes from.
Yeah, that's all it is. I couldn't do that with my sister, obviously.
I mean, you could, but
But
child support, so to speak. Can't pay the dog.
well, between me and my sister, it's only about a year difference. We're even. I think there was a portion of our growth spurt where my sister and girls grow a bit faster than the boys do, or earlier than
She's taller than you.
No, she was never taller, but she was just like a bigger girl.
Yeah.
And I was just like, but in saying that, I remember being the protector over my sister a lot. I'm older than her, of course.
Yeah.
And my sister tells me that she feels the same way. We played some games and stuff where I think the activity was slightly more boyish than girlish because I was still playing that, and I was clearly the older brother, so just went with my way, I guess.
Yeah.
Siblings and dynamics, first child, second child, third child, middle child stuff. We should talk about that as well because it's such a fun topic.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, and I see so much of so many idiosyncrasies with my friendship circles as well.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, but I really had to learn to love my sister.
Do you know how many siblings I've got?
How many?
Do you know?
One brother.
Okay, yeah. I was going to ask you if you thought I was older, middle, younger.
Yeah.
But you don't know, yeah.
But you're a classic younger brother.
You reckon?
Yeah, classic. I'm a classic firstborn.
Yeah.
With a younger sister. I think I am anyway. But I think there was a time where my sister and I would fight all the time. And we would be like, it's mine, being really selfish. All kids are like that. Well, not all, but a lot of kids are like that. And I remember my parents sitting me down talking about the story of Cain and Abel. And he says, anyone who hates a brother has committed murder. Right? In the Bible passage that we had to learn together. And we had to constantly learn to love each other through the word of God, which I remember back to it now, and I find that really encouraging. And I'm glad that my parents have used these passages to actually grow our family and our brother and sister relationship. Now we're adults. I cannot think of anyone more supportive of me than my sister.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
In everything that I do.
Yeah.
She has her times of judgments. She partially cares. But
Do you
anywhere
find it
I go.
helpful, though, when she judges?
No.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why.
I feel like it's helpful to have some people judge.
I know, but I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah, of course. Bro.
I just need fans. No. I
just need fanboys. That's all I need.
Yeah, but like only because I agree with you. I agree with you that it is good to have that kind of sort of management in your life. But I prefer that from an upper hierarchy, not a lower hierarchy. I see my sister as my baby sister, and I forever will. She's younger than me, right? Full stop. But no matter how judgmental she can get, whether it's out of care or jealousy, whatever it is, right? With family, things happen. She has always been my number one fan, talking about me to other people. So I really find that appreciative, and you know, and nobody can replace that.
Yeah.
Probably same goes for your older brother too, right?
Yeah, for
sure.
So we should do a podcast on it because it's very different growing up, I think.
Yeah.
With a sister.
Yeah.
Or a brother.
Yeah, that's right. How has your sibling changed your faith? And I have some really encouraging stuff to share about my sister's faith and her journey as well, which I've had the pleasure of talking about recently with her, because I don't actually live with her, but you know, we get on the phone, and really, it's really encouraging because your sibling is always at a different phase of faith than you are. And to see where they're at and how that impacts your faith, and to see where you are and how you can impact your faith to your family, like biological sibling, I think is powerful. I think it's really, really important that we use that earthly tether to make an impact on another soul's faith.
For sure. I reckon we should wrap it up there.
Let's wrap it up
because
there.
That Mentos, I'm getting a massive sugar hit, man. I need to go and like do 100 push-ups.
Okay, fair enough. Man. No worries.
We'll end it there.
Hey, wait, hang on a sec. Before you go, I read all of these things, and you know, first thing I thought was, are these really written by kids? But second of all, I just wanted to pray for these kids. Yeah, and I actually kind of saved it for this podcast. So let's just finish in prayer. That'd be great.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Let me pray. Thank you, Jesus, for these kids. And whatever questions they have right now and whatever questions that they will have, ultimately, we've all been taught that it'll be answered when we go to heaven. And we really look forward to that day. We cannot wait till we ask you about dinosaurs and about aliens and all these crazy things. But Lord, I just pray for these children, upon their heads, upon their family, upon their spirit, that they will grow in not knowledge of everything that they seek, but in faith and reliance of your amazing love that you displayed on the cross for us. So Lord, we lift up these people to you. We lift up our listeners. We lift up ourselves, the churches we go to, our friends and our leaders and our family. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Tune in next time.
Peace.
Yeah.